Hello and welcome to Camp Xbox, where we talk about all things Xbox new and old, and on today's agenda is a review of Mortal Kombat Deception.
Rated M for mature. It will summon you. It will challenge you. It will consume you. Mortal Kombat Deception online for PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Deception is the 6th installment in the Mortal Kombat franchise, and it was released for the Xbox and PS2 at launch, but also the PSP and Gamecube, and the Xbox version released October 4th, 2004. It was published and developed by Midway Games and was directed by the legendary Ed Boon. Mortal Kombat Deception continues the 3D arena style combat that was started in the franchise with Mortal Kombat 4. And Deception is a direct sequel to the last game, Deadly Alliance, picking up right where that one left off. But instead of the Mortal Kombat universe facing off against each other like they did in Deadly Alliance, this one they must work together to take down one big bad guy, Onaga. Mortal Kombat at its core has and always has been a hyper-violent fighting game and quite legendary in video game history, even to the point where I think people who know nothing about video games know what Mortal Kombat is. And Mortal Kombat is one of my favorites. Since I was growing up and a small child when I probably shouldn't have been playing these, I was playing these games, and I did own Deception for my original Xbox, so this is a very nostalgic return for me because this was a staple of mine. I would always hop around different modes, getting nice arcade fixes, but I would play the puzzle mode with my mom, and I would play chess mode all the time. It was a great time, and 15 years later, and I was really excited to get back to this, and I can say that I think it holds up pretty well. Its most important realm in what should be good for a game like this is fighting gameplay, and I actually think that is really good. It maintains the simplicity of Mortal Kombat's fighting style with it has complex movesets, but they're really easy to learn combos, but it is really simple whenever you just get the juggles down and uppercuts and some really super silly moves, like one of my favorites being Bo' Rai Cho's vomit move that makes the other characters slip around. Yet, what I really like about Deception is the switching around of fighting styles. Every character in this game actually has 3 unique fighting stances that they can switch at any time during the fight, and all of them offer unique moves, and it adds a surprising amount of depth to each combatant. Some characters feel great to play, and others might feel a little weak in comparison, but in my opinion, I think this game is all about learning the character. I think once you learn a lot of these characters, you can be really good with it. There's just some that are really easy to pick up and play. And I really like the roster here. There are 26 characters, with 17 of them being returning characters like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Baraka, but the 9 new characters are pretty good. Actually, Darius was the one that I always went to as a kid. I always thought he was a really cool character. I think if you do go back to this one, you'll definitely find a character that you do like. There are a lot of unlockable characters here, which I know is a negative for some. I think maybe there's just a little too many to unlock here, but I do like a little bit of a goal to get some new characters. You do have to go through a mix of Conquest and the Crypt. The Crypt is where you take all your coins, because you earn coins from fights and just doing things, and you use them to buy alternate costumes and behind the scenes footage. It's a really fun way to do collectibles, and I always loved that Mortal Kombat did this, and they continue to do it to this day. My only complaint is that the Crypt is a little uncreative. In Deadly Alliance, I remember there was like jump scares and stuff like this. This one, it's literally just a bunch of graves and not much flair to it. You just go up to a grave and buy something. Another issue I have is that some of these unlockables, specifically most of the characters, you have to unlock by doing a mix of Conquest, getting a key, and then unlocking it in the Crypt. And I think this is really annoying because I think Conquest mode might be the weakest link in this game's lineup. Conquest mode is a 3D RPG mode set in an open world. It has side quests, and let me tell you, it is ambitious. This was a big deal because just having an open world in this really deep fighting game, that's a lot to ask for the time. But it just doesn't work, especially not in the looks. I don't think it looks great. It's a very flat world, and the draw distance does not go out very far. There's a lot of pop in here. But I think it has its moments. The fights are really cool. You get coins for playing these matches with hardened perks, or you have less health to work with. So it's like a challenging arcade mode, and I think that's enjoyable. But some of these missions are just really long tutorial missions that just teach you how to play every character, and it goes through all of their movesets. And I thought that was dreadfully boring to do. It took way too long. I do like the story. You follow Shujinko and you actually just go around, you kind of travel, help people out, but the voice acting is pretty weak. I'm not going to give it a lot of points off because it was their first time doing anything like this, but it could have been better. I think Conquest mode needed a lot more. And it needed to just look better, because if you look at the stages and the character models and blood in this game, it really looks nice. It has a really cartoony look, but all the environments look great. There's a lot of good throwbacks to older stuff. All the characters are very fluid, kind of have more realistic motion than they did in Deadly Alliance. In the blood, of course, you gotta love the blood. You really get the most of this in the arcade mode, which is normal stuff, classic fighting, fun endings, and it's extremely challenging, and it really wants you to learn characters a lot, and I really don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good, challenging fighting game with some fun instant death traps. As a kid, I always tried to get these death traps because they had some really cool animations. Fatalities make a great return here, and they are gruesome as ever. They are so much fun to check out. And now for the weirder things about this game that I think really make this stand out. There's actually two add-on modes, and that's puzzle combat and chess combat. And the chess mode, I think, is well worth coming back to. You get to pick a set of characters and they become your pieces, and that, depending on what piece they are, is how much health they have. And you move these pieces across the board and they fight each other. It's surprisingly a lot of fun, and no joke, this is the game that taught me how to play chess, and it's replayable. It's satisfying taking down the enemy team slowly, piece by piece. Puzzle mode is a nice diversion as well. It feels a lot like Super Puzzle Fighter, where you have tiny versions of your characters on the bottom fighting each other as you do a column-style matchup game where you just match up certain colors and then you get combos to attack the enemy. Each character has their own special move, which is a lot of fun, and it makes the playing field a lot stronger, and it has a lot of personality to it. My biggest negative with it is that these puzzle combats can be very long, but it is a fun time. And I would say overall, Mortal Kombat Deception is a varied package with a lot to do, and it has a great core fighting system. I know I had some negatives to say about the Conquest mode, but I think everything else around it makes this game really good. I think this Mortal Kombat has a ton of charm and is nice and brutal, and I actually highly recommend you check this one out. And on the ranked list, I think I would put Mortal Kombat Deception right in the top 10. I think I'm going to put it right at number 7. I'm going to put it above The Hobbit because I feel like Mortal Kombat has a lot more fun sections, maybe a stronger replay factor to it. But it's going to go under 007 Agent Under Fire because I think Agent Under Fire is an all-around better package of a game. But I say go check it out. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell if you want to be notified for any new videos that I make. Please leave any comments below if you have any Mortal Kombat Deception memories, but I will see you here next time. at Camp Xbox.